here. Do you want to go to that DJ Quik conversation?
I do. I find it to be fascinating and insightful.
Let me actually take the words right out of Quik's tweet. Let me see. He said, he said something that's interesting because we talk about these type of things all the time, and the fact that certain people don't get their just due. I feel like we just had a quick conversation. I don't know if people be listening or whatever, but he says, I know
Hmm.
it's early, but I deserve to be where Dr. Dre is. Hold on. I deserve to be where Dr. Dre is. I don't think it's fair, but I understand why. I've never had a machine behind me. That always hurts my friends more than it did me.
Mm.
Well,
Well,
I think we spoke about this a couple weeks back, and the fact that Dr. Dre has a staff, you know what I'm saying, and has a lot of people, and I think we were talking about him in comparison to Q-Tip. I thought that was the scope of our conversation, and we were
more or less.
talking about with Q-Tip, you can look at the low end theory and say, yeah, Q-Tip produced that.
Hmm.
But when it comes to the chronic, there's a lot of moving parts
And Doggy Style.
and
And the
doggy
Chronic
style.
2001 and Get Rich or Die Trying.
So if you ask me who's the better, like, what's the more impressive production job from an individual, I would say the low end theory. So Quick is kind of speaking along those realms in the sense where he's kind of a one man band. He's a musician. Now, obviously, he directs other musicians as well, but he just does a lot more of the beat creation work than Dre does. I think that is that fair to say?
I think he's more of so one of the artists I've been talking to, and we're going to talk about some of the things that we're doing, like as we're kind of growing, building into the year.
Mm-hmm.
The trivia game and such. I was with the artist Lou Screw that I'm covering behind the scenes. I've known Lou since he was younger, when he was first like getting into the rap game. When I pulled up on him, he's like, Coop. He was like, fam, OG. He's like, you don't understand. I'm on one stop shop now. He was like, I can sit down in here. I mean, and you'll see the footage soon because this is part of what we're putting together. I'm watching him, and this is the artist, and he's on the boards. And he got the recording booth right there, and he done pulled the mic out. He's like, Coop, I don't have to call nobody to do nothing or anything for me right now. He's like, I got this by myself if I need to all night. In his house, got the whole yo set up. Like, and what my fam Lou Screw's doing, that's what Quick been doing since born and raised in Compton. You feel
Mm-hmm.
me?
Yeah.
Quick been one man band, one stop shop. I told you outside of Mossberg, and think about how long Mossberg been gone now. I ain't never even nobody even be around Quick to help out
Yeah.
on some real shit. And so when you start looking at quality projects like Rhythmalism, Safe and Sound, you start looking at stuff like Born and Raised in Compton. You start looking at some of the ancillary stuff for outside projects and contributions to Get Rich or Die Trying. Um,
All eyes on me. And
all eyes
see,
on me.
this is the problem with
Hold
the
on. Tony. Let's
yeah.
get down. Like stepping outside of the box and doing certain things. It's like, no, I mean, if you're feeling that way, fine. I mean, I'm going to tell you one of the things that I have like literally queued up on my list for December because I knew I was going to wait till December to do it, Mike. We still need to reach out to Chris the Glove and try to get an interview with him to talk about some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Because and like I said, it's no disrespect to Dre, but the reality of the matter is if you have contemporaries that are comparable to you that handle this more like a one man show, and you're more of a business and an entity and an operation employing employees, well, we can give your company the number one spot, but we can't give you the number one
Well,
spot. And so
similar to
people
what we
like you,
do in terms of Andre 3000 and Outkast. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to give you the individualism of Andre 3000 being, top 10, but Outkast as a unit, yes. Because that's where the work lies. And we're not
yes,
going to
that's what
act,
I'm saying.
yeah, and we're not going to act like your contribution to Outkast supersedes Outkast or supersedes Big Boy. It's a group. You know what I mean? So I think from a production standpoint, that kind of needs to be handled in a similar context. You
And
know,
that's not to say that Dre hasn't done awesome stuff either. I'm just
no,
saying.
but see, the thing is, with the credit and lack thereof, it leaves the consumer just not knowing. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
Like
I mean,
those contributions that Quick has on All Eyes on Me, they could be huge. They could be minuscule. We don't know.
and
We just
and
know what
so
we've
and this
heard.
and this, and this is what I mean about not fair to your contemporaries, and I mean this. Well, every time we have this conversation, I think about that RZA run, and I think about how it's not that I know the beats that he did. I know the beats that he didn't do during that run, and it was very fucking few because you saw them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Scary Hours, Brooklyn Zoo, Basic Instructions Before Leaving, like the stuff that Heaters, the MGM. Like I can tell you the beats that RZA didn't do during the
Right.
run. Like I can tell you the exact beats that RZA did not do during their prime run. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
That's different than a cloud of. It's like when it's very comparable and not the same level, but when Pusha T is on Trap or Die 2, talking about tell Hov, don't pass the crown so soon, unless he got a crown for every writer in the room. The same thing applies to the production. It's like, well, if you
Too
got
many spirits.
there's too many spirits going on, and so when I look at it, when I look at a RZA and a Quik and a Dilla and a Q-Tip and a Havoc and an Alchemist,
A Pete Rock.
Pete Rock.
Pete Rock never has help.
Well, fam, I mean, it's like, you know, Pete Rock's not the most favorable person to a lot of hip hop people right now, but we know that nigga know how to cook up the
It's
beat
incredible.
from scratch.
And see, even when we talk about
Like the whole thing, he know how to cook the whole meal from scratch. We know this.
I've always had this debate, and I think a lot of people do too, with the Neptunes and Timbaland. And I always say, it's not fair to Timbaland. These are two guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
I still think
I'm
Timbaland's
more,
better.
I'm more of a
I hear
Neptune.
you.
I'm more of a Neptune fan, like in a vacuum. But that's not fair to Timbaland. It's two people versus one. And that's how we got to look at this Dr. Dre stuff
That's what I'm saying.
sometimes.
So look at somebody. So,
Yeah.
So how about this? When you got guys like Chris the Glove that's coming in and helping do stuff like Phone Tap and Executive Decision. You got DJ Quik on All Eyes on Me. You got Yella for the NWA stuff. You got Mike Elizondo. You got Scott Storch.
You got Mailman.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, not Mailman. Yeah. Mailman.
Mailman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when you got like all this going around and it's like, man, I ain't never seen nobody around Quik but Mossberg. It's like, no, he might have a right to feel some type of way. And we still don't know what Mossberg did. Mossberg might have just been carrying the records and like, hey, Quik, I bought this from the record store today. What you think of these?
Well, that was Warren G's job for Dre. Not to mention what Daz's job was.
Not counting Daz. Think about how many guys we just circled around Dre. We got Daz, Warren G, Chris the Glove, Mike Elizondo, Mailman. That's 5 guys. Yella, that's 6. You got 6 guys around any other all-time great producer, because even during the Wu-Tang run, like, you know, a whole crew of niggas from the East Coast, Fourth Disciple, True Master.
And they did their own stuff. They got credit for it, too.
They got credit every time. Like, I knew that RZA was a real one when Brooklyn Zoo got credited.
Right. Ohio okay with the super chat.
Mike, I'm going to tell you, I'm an integrity guy, and that's the type of thing that would keep me up at night. Like, hold on. Like, I think I want to, hold on. No, we're going to pray about it, do the right thing.
You remember what he said in the verses? He said he made
crazy.
it on... He said he made it on my equipment.
You made it on my equipment, right? No, because that's how cold that beat was. He had to have been thinking that when that beat got made. It's like, yo, he did make that on my shit, though. I did show him how to make this beat.
Ohio okay with the super chat.
Like, it's not even dirty that's like that. That's one of the best beats that came out the camp.
No, straight up. Ohio okay with the super chat says, although Cole's verse on Johnny P's Caddy is better, his verse on Waterboys off of Earth Gang's album is dope too. Yeah. Cole's everywhere with
I told you, Cole's done it. I mean, he's, first of all, he's clearly the special guest appearance artist of this year. If you factor in his guest appearances, and then the Dreamville mixtape, and
not even Mad Max in the super chat says, bro, KD has one finals run as the nucleus of a team in 2012. Takes the Warriors away. KD is just a second round guy, maybe a conference final guy. Dr. J done more. Dr. J.
First of all, he's been to 4 NBA finals. And let's keep in mind, you know how old he was when he went to his first NBA finals? He's 23 years old.
Yeah, he was pretty young.
He's 23 years old when he led a team to the finals. So I don't ever want to hear anything ridiculous about that. You go show me the other top 10 players, or top, no, go show me the top 25 players that at 23 years old led a team to the finals, because I'll show you Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Kareem, Bill Russell, and that's about it.
And he lost to the
And
Heaters.
LeBron. And he lost to LeBron
Yeah.
and
Wade
Wade
and
and
Bosh.
Bosh.
Yeah.
Right.
That was
hold
a
on,
special
hold on.
team.
With a young James Harden and a Russell Westbrook who really couldn't shoot or play point guard yet.
Yeah.
Like 4 scoring titles, like literally conceded a scoring title to Carmelo. Like should have 5, maybe 6, which would put him right behind Mike and Wilt. Like, yeah, y'all crazy.
Mad Max says, like KD fans kill me because y'all talk about his height, his skill. Anyone can knock him off his square. Anyone can pick his pocket. You could take that 7-foot guy out of the series. We be seeing that.
Then why does he have 4 NBA Finals appearances, 2 rings, and two NBA Finals MVPs, and like, hold on, if I'm not mistaken, 5 or 6 conference Finals appearances? Like, how did that happen exactly? If he's not that
KD's got to prove Mad Max
You understand?
wrong.
You understand? He has still like this is what I'm saying. Like
Mad Max must be a Knicks fan. I know.
Hold on. How about this? Like you understand what Giannis is defensively is what KD is offensively, but better. Like KD is arguably the most unstoppable offensive force ever. Giannis isn't the most unstoppable defensive force ever. That would be Akeem Olajuwon or Bill Russell. So like parse it out and start understanding that Giannis is not anywhere close to KD offensively, but KD is way closer to Giannis defensively than Giannis is to KD offensively. It's not that much of a conversation. And I love Giannis.
Eric Terrell with the super chat says, Quik can't get mad at Dre. Dre found the superstars, Snoop, 50, Shady, Cube, NWA, Anderson .Paak. Quik don't have anyone other than Sugar Free, AMG, and second to none. What say you to that?
So this is about being an A&R, not a producer then. That's artist and repertoire.
Well, I will say this. I think a big part of where Dr. Dre is not only the artist that he's able to find, but even the individual songs that he has when he jumps behind the mic. I mean, G-Thang's a special record. Dre Day's a special record. Let Me Ride's a special record.
No, they are. So is In the Club, which I believe Quik did the drums to.
Yeah.
Right. So think about this. What's Dre's biggest modern day record? In the Club.
In the Club or
who did the drums?
Yeah. Or the Mary J. Blige song, which is a In the Club.
In the Club's bigger. In the Club's bigger. It just is. Think about it. 50 Chunky Ass came up upside down out of a trailer for the Super Bowl about that track. Like
Darius Campbell with the super chat says, come on, Coop. KD has never made an all-defensive team. No way he's top 10. Giannis will be better than him.
Giannis has never won a scoring title. KD got 4.
Dame with the super chat
Giannis
says,
ain't made first team All-NBA as much as KD or second team All-NBA as much as KD. That's what I'm saying. Like, understand what you're saying. KD been making first or second team pretty much since about 08, 09. We're in 2022, fam. Kawhi done came and gone in this conversation.
Dame with the super chat says, well, y'all can consider adding predictions to y'all 2023 years in book. Example, Jay will release a new album, and if we see it really happens, we should put predictions out there. I don't know about Jay. I did say that I think Jay's going to come out with an album next year, but I don't know if I want to put that to print.
I don't think he should.
I just don't see. You know what? We were listening to Threats the other day when I did an impromptu station head, and I thought about it. I was like, Ninth Wonder could make a Jay-Z album. I would be cool with that. I would like to see Ninth Wonder and Jay-Z get back together. Because they made one song, knocked it out the park, and we never heard them get together again. Jason, what's up?
No, my fault. I
don't
personally
want no copyright stuff.
Right. I personally thought, like, for me, Threat was the song on the Black Album that really, like, brought it together for me. It's like, oh, no, you're still going to do stuff like that on the mic and content-wise?
He was spitting on there.
No, I thought Threat, how about this? Threat's better than Change Clothes, Dirt Off Your Shoulders, like all those singles, 99 Problems. I think Threat's better than all the singles that he released.
Threat's better than Moment of Clarity.
Yes, on
Better
Easy.
than the DJ Quick song.
Yes,
Threats,
Justify My Thug.
yeah, Threats better than my first song, I think.
Yeah, no, Threats like a top 5 song on there, easy. Maybe top 3. Like
Yeah.
PSA and Lucifer are the only songs that I know are better than Threat on there.
What
That's what I
about
mean.
Allure?
I think the mic performance on Threat is more impressive than Allure. That's what I'm saying. Like Allure has the feel, but Threat actually has Threat's 97 Hove.
Threats better than Encore to me too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No, Threat is that. That's what I'm saying. No, Threat was special. I'm cool with Ninth and Jay getting in the
I would
lab.
like
and,
to see.
cooking up.
Yeah, let me go ahead and proclaim that. If anybody who is in Jay-Z's camp listens to the show, I would love to hear Jay and Ninth Wonder do a project together in 2023. Mad Max of the Super Chat says 3 of them were appearances. Appearances were with the Warriors, who got back there the year that he tore his Achilles. And I'm a Laker fan. Kobe is my favorite player ever.
Oh, I feel you. Then you understand that Kobe and Kevin Durant were the men for the same amount of rings, which is 2. Right.
Jay Short with the $20
Right.
super chat. He says DJ Quick suffered from the 90s East Coast bias. They had to acknowledge Dre and Snoop because of the numbers, but they refused to give props to anyone outside of them, to including Tupac. But we got to pretend every 90s New York artist is a legend. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. A lot of people suffer from the East Coast bias.
Yeah.
And I think that DJ Quick needs to be somebody who's added to that mix. I think Common suffered from it. Scarface suffered from it.
Common and Scarface stick out the most, respectively, for their regions, for the time frame.
Because I truly believe if Common and Scarface were from Queens or something, they would be.
I mean, think about this.
Different.
When's that Cool G Rap record with Face? Because outside of that was early, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of G Rap reaching out to Face, I mean, think about when you start hearing Common and Face with New Yorkers, late 90s. They've been around since, in Face case, like 88, 89, Common's case, 90, 91. Mm-hmm. You don't hear them until almost a decade later. Like Favor for a Favor for Face. KRS-One and the Common freestyle at Hot 97. You know?
Yeah.
You would think,
you know what? You're right, and I didn't even think about that, and I forgot about the KRS-One connection. If Common was from New York, him and KRS would be doing so much stuff together.
Correct. It would have been happened.
Yeah.
It would have been perfect. It would have made sense.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go on to this Kyrie thing, and we can slide.
Yeah, we're gonna keep this brief, but yeah.
Because I think we got somewhere with our list, and got somewhere to go. I think that the verses is the hardest one to do, and I think we kind of we got some good choices this year, though. I feel like previous years don't really match up with this year. This year has some really good verses.
No, I feel like the competition is a little bit more stiff because we don't have like Nas going ham last year, like on the KD2 Magic thing.
Yeah.
It's like, so, right.
You got Aquamarine out here. You got Johnny P's Caddy out here.
Right. We didn't have that last year to compete with Nas. Like we didn't. Not like that. So we have that this year, and that's good. No, so I just want to wrap up briefly. It's like, and I just want to piggyback off what I was saying earlier. It's like, well, I don't have an axe to grind with Kyrie, but listen to everything that I was just saying in relationship to Kevin Durant, who Kevin Durant is. Even if you don't feel like, how about this? Even if you don't feel like he's a top 10 player all time, he's clearly top 15. Those guys don't grow on trees because you know how many top 15 players are playing right now? 3. And one of them is about to break the scoring record and retire soon. So literally, in about 2 or 3 years, there's only going to be 2 top 15 players playing. That's Steph and that's KD. So it is like that. But to the Kyrie thing, this is what was always my issue. When you're 30 years old and at your peak and at your prime, for whatever agenda that you have, maximize what's on the table in front of you right now while you have this platform. Do not risk your finances for the sake of just being hard-headed, because here's the thing about it. For everything that he just did, he just lost a deal, and he just lost millions of dollars. What point did he prove? What awareness did he raise? What did he heighten for our community? What did he really stand to gain by doing this in the manner that he did it. Well, he didn't. And that's all I was trying to say is that I didn't like what he was doing because all I saw was a young black man, a man who was 10 years my junior, putting what he built at risk to take a stance that I'm not sure that he's clear on because he's still finding himself.
Well,
I would
maybe his
encourage. Oh
point.
no, listen. Let me
Mhm.
finish, please, Mike. I would encourage any black man that's 10 years my junior, that's having some of the thoughts and the feelings that he's having, to stop, pause, look at the situation that you're in, and look how you can be a beacon of light and really provide awareness with your financial status and with your rhetoric if it's done properly. This wasn't done properly, and all it did was cost him millions of dollars. And I mean this very seriously. White people laughing at him right now. And I knew this was going to happen like this. And that was my thing. Stop making it seem like I'm trying to come down on this brother. I'm 10 years older than this brother. I've been in that place that he's in. That's why I was very mindful about what I was saying. All he's done is lose millions of dollars and not raise the heightness or the awareness about anything that he probably was concerned about. Do you understand that? While Amazon gets to sit up there and laugh at us and be like, nah, we ain't gonna stop selling the video just because Kyrie said something. Y'all take that shit up with Kyrie. Next.
Well, maybe his stance is the fact that, he's letting people know that he can't be bought. And I think that
He's already been bought and paid for multiple times. That's what I'm saying. It is like, fam, stop that. Stop that. You've been bought and paid for multiple times. Do something with it.
well, maybe he's bucking back on that. He's changed his
No,
mind.
that's cool to buck back on it. Like, would you mind bucking back in a way where it puts you on the floor with Kevin Durant so you guys can try to win a championship?
So you want him to shut up and dribble?
No, I don't want him to shut up and dribble. I want him to treat his profession like it's the number one thing that pays him, and that's what we know him for.
Well, maybe
I don't
it's
have
not.
any problem. No, I don't have any problem with him doing anything that he's done, except for one thing. All of these things have taken the precipice over what we're really watching him for, which is his genius as a basketball player. His genius as a basketball player is taking a total back seat, Mike. And what I'm trying to tell you is that, well, without his genius as a basketball player, nobody's really following him. And we've really spent the last 2-3 years talking about the mess that he's creating within his own organization more than his basketball play. He's his own worst enemy. I'm not telling him to shut up and dribble. I'm saying you're a professional. Like, when we pull up here, Mike, we talk about a lot of things, but we professionally talk about hip hop. It's our spear. It's what we spin all things off of. You and I were having a conversation about all of our spinoffs, but it ties back in now, doesn't it? Yeah. What is he doing that ties back into team chemistry, team building, team unity, winning a championship? Because his title is professional basketball player. I just want him to be tied into what actually got him to this place and then get to those things. Muhammad Ali had a lot to say while he was whooping everybody's ass in boxing, Mike. There's nothing wrong with it. Whooping everybody's ass first, Mike.
Those are different times.
First. Like, no. Muhammad Ali was out here taking a stance and whooping ass.
Those are different times, and he took
Stop
a religious.
Using that time thing as an excuse. I'm so sick of us. Just like you said, it's not the '70s anymore.
No, it was a different time, Coop. He was taking a religious stance.
Look at what LeBron just did. Don't tell me it can't be done. Look at what LeBron just did.
LeBron didn't do anything near what Ali did, though.
No, but what I'm saying is that every time. No. What I'm saying is LeBron's job is a professional basketball player, and he exceeds at it as well as anybody else in the history of basketball. But if you sit down and ask this man about a social justice issues, he is prepared and he's in line and even stepped in for Kyrie. And all I'm saying is like, if you're not built. Yes, he very much stepped in for Kyrie. And all I'm saying is that Kyrie may not be ready to play that high stakes game. Like, you step into the big boys table when you're talking some of the stuff you're talking. Are you sure that you're ready? It did not look like you were ready from the way that you responded. It looked like LeBron was ready from the way he responded. It's like, I'm very fascinated how you all like to ask me about Kyrie, don't like to ask me about Jerry Jones. Bang, 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 bang. But LeBron know how to play at that big boys table.
I mean, yes and no. He was able to. That was kind of some low-hanging fruit. When they asked him about Kyrie, he jumped right in line. So it wasn't like he was out there
And
like,
he's also the only person that I see publicly to actually pivot and be like, hey, y'all was giving Kyrie this energy. Can we keep the energy consistent with Jerry Jones? Now you show me the other black athlete that went
well,
out there and said that.
I'll give Jaylen Brown some credit. He's been, giving it to the media and
He
giving it to
has been
social
giving it to
media
the
as well.
media. No, no, no. All I'm saying is that there's levels to this, and when you're playing certain type of games, Mike, if you think that there's not an etiquette and a discourse for everything, it's just like basketball, Mike. There's rules and regulations when you step on the court. You can't travel. You can't double dribble. You can't just go and hit somebody in the mouth and think you get to stay in the game.
Unless you're John Morant, he can travel all over the place.
That's neither here nor there. Patrick Ewing too, but you get what I'm saying. So I just wanted to make it clear. It's like I'm not trying to castigate him or tear him down. I just saw him lose millions of dollars, and for what? Like, what platform are you standing? I still don't even know what his platform is.
Well, see, this
After
is
all
my
these
thing.
after all these years of him doing this, Mike, we still don't even know what his platform is.
Well, this is my thing, and I don't know Kyrie, but
Like,
just
I know what LeBron's platform
just
is. It's
watching.
financial literacy, black empowerment, business building, network building. It's very, very clear what LeBron's doing.
So
What is Kyrie doing?
I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but just from a economic, black business building, what has kind of come of some of LeBron's efforts? Would you say?
Well, he's becoming a billionaire, and that billionaire has allowed him the agility to put blacks through school, build up impoverished communities. You get what I'm saying? Like LeBron is actually taking his wealth and done actionable community works that I see Kyrie talking about, and I see the donations. But it's like, well, fam, if you really in on this, it's like, well, then be in on it.
Well, this is the thing, though, Coop. Once again, just like the Deion Sanders conversation, that's not on one black man to do. It's not.
No, it's
Honestly, a lot of
not.
those efforts right there that you're talking about, those are things that regular Americans pay their tax dollars that should be allocated to those communities
So this is
anyway.
what I mean. So
So
when he's
those
being
are more
asking
so
questions,
government things that
so,
many of these people who have platforms
but this
need
is
to
what I
push
mean about
for.
not being ready, Mike. Like Kyrie has done some very philanthropic things behind the scenes. When he's being asking these questions publicly, instead of being defiant, why can't he divert the attention the same way? Like you understand, LeBron James is the smartest sports athlete in media maybe ever. Did you see how he diverted the conversation? Like I've been saying that Kyrie needs to do, and all I'm saying is that when they're talking this, why aren't you talking about that? Be like, hey, do you know I donated such and such to Sandra Bland, but y'all didn't say a word to me about it when I did that? Did you know that I did such and such and such and such in this community and y'all didn't say a word to me about that? Like, that's why I keep telling you there were so many different ways for even what he's actually done that's actionable for him to pivot it. And it seemed like he just wanted to stand there and be hard headed. It's like, oh no, fam. Like, that's not how this game is played. It was never played that way by Brother Malcolm or Dr. King. It's not played that way by LeBron. Who are you?
I don't know, man. People have
Who
their
are
own
you?
approach.
No, that's what I'm
Everybody's not
saying.
going
Like
to
he
do
thinks
it the
too much of
same way.
himself. He think he don't have to go through the same set of circumstances that Dr. King, Malcolm X, Ali, LeBron, and you're sadly mistaken. You better know what racist ass nation that you're living in, which is what I really keep expressing to people at the end of the day. Is like, no, I'm not saying it's right. I'm telling you we're living in a racist nation and things work in this nation a certain type of way, and it's better to get your money and build out actionable clauses like somebody like, I don't know, LeBron, and then media-wise divert the attention back to where it really needs to be. Once again, LeBron, instead of sitting up there and saying, well, I didn't watch the rest of the movie.
Well, it sounds like you're
Nah,
saying.
fam. Like, no. Like,
It
if you're
sounds
an
like you're
intelligent and
saying.
thoughtful brother, no, if you're intelligent and you're thoughtful, show us as such and back it up and divert the attention back to where it needs to go. Be
It,
like, hey, how many white basketball players do you see donating money to such and such and such and such and such and such? There's so many ways he could have diverted the conversation to the media. It just came off as ill-timed, ill-prepared, selfish, and stubborn because that's what it was.
Let me get to these super chats. We'll get out of here. Mad Max says Kobe was the man for 2 years. I'm sorry, for two. Yes, but Powell was his second best. Not Steph, Clay, and Dre. Stop gassing him. Kobe beat
Okay,
three
he had
Hall of
Lamar
Famers.
Odom. He had
KD
Lamar
joined
Odom, who was
three.
an all-star. Andrew Bynum, all-star. So he played with three other all-stars on that team.
I
Stop
will
playing.
give Kobe this. They did beat a KG Paul Pierce and Ray Allen team
No, 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 no,
with
no.
a young
Get
Rondo
no, no,
too.
no. Get your facts together.
All four of those guys were on the court.
Hold on. But the fifth person, the Celtics never lost
Kendrick
a series with
Perkins.
all five of those guys on the court. No, you want to know
Injuries
why?
happen,
Hold on, I'm
man.
going to tell you exactly why.
Andrew
Kendrick,
Bynum was down when they won their series too. So
but do you want to know why that matters? Because the Lakers had a bigger front line, and when Kendrick Perkins tore his ACL in a Game 7 where Kobe went 5 for 24, the offensive glass is where the Lakers won that game. And had Kendrick Perkins big there, the offensive glass would have not gone that way. So let's not discount that. That's what I mean about how styles make fights. If Perkins and Bynum is there, it might be a more even shot, but I'm very clear. Kobe went 5 for 24, and they killed the Celtics on the glass. Rasheed Wallace and KG were old, and it was Game 7. They were on their last legs. Perkins was the young legs on the front line, and he was hurt.
I'm gonna say this: in a Game 7 situation like that, I
Not
would
5 for
trust
24. I'm
Kobe
taking
more.
Kobe too, but he was 5 for 24 in that game. They did not win that game because
I
of
mean,
Kobe. And Kobe
again,
said so. Kobe said so after the game. He said, "My teammates carried me in this game." Kobe said
he
that.
had a whole bunch of rebounds that game too. So I don't know if
Hold on. What'd you just say?
he had a bunch
Kobe
of
had a
rebounds.
whole
But
bunch
let
of
me
what?
finish. Let me finish. He had a whole bunch of rebounds that game.
Like 16.
But again, he was compensating. I don't know if Perk was there, his focus may have been on other things, and he might have had a different type of game if Perkins was there. It's a whole lot of what ifs. We just know what happened.
You talking about a playoff game rebounder that averaged about 5-6 rebounds in the game that goes and gets double that. So okay, Mike.
I'm sure his mindset was like, okay, Perk's missing. I'm gonna make sure that we get these rebounds.
Right. So that maybe
so that focus may have took him off of his shooting game.
He shot 24 shots. He shot the most shots in the game. Like,
well,
he
he's
still shot
Kobe.
more than everybody else. He's Kobe. Like, I'm not taking nothing away from Kobe, but it's like, let's keep it real, Mike.
LP with the super chat
they're not winning the game if Perkins there. They're not.
Dubs won before and after KD. You knocked Steph for doing what you're asking Kyrie to do.
This is the only
he
time
played
I'm
the role that maximized KD's game. That's why KD ain't won since.
Let's just be honest. This is what I mean about how styles make fights. The first ring that they won, I believe in Game 1 of the NBA Finals, Kyrie was busting Steph Curry's ass and then broke his kneecap. Okay? Kevin Love was already gone. That was the first ring. Draymond gets suspended in Game 5. Like, they...
No, and then that series, Kyrie was busting Steph's ass.
I'm just calling spade a spade.
Yeah.
I'm just calling spade a spade.
Jay Short with the super chat says, for y'all Laker fans dissing Powell, what did Worthy do that he didn't? Don't act like Powell was a scrub. Yeah, Powell was scrub.
That's what I'm saying. Powell's an all-time player. Like, he's not top 75 to me, but he's top 100.
Yeah.
I got a slide, Mike.
All right, man. We're going to get up out of here, man. We're going to holler at y'all on Friday. Good stuff.
Just real quick for the people, we're building and we're growing starting into the new year. We have a trivia game that's out and popping on Thursday nights. We have the week according to hip hop popping. I am currently starting my next venture, which is tied into According to Hip Hop. It's Coop from According to Hip Hop Live presents Coop is Problematic. You can follow Coop is Problematic on YouTube. We're going to have some more shows coming down the pipeline as According to Hip Hop expands for the new year. I'm going to be doing a show with my daughter that I think everybody is going to love. We're going to be doing a little behind the scenes things for our local artists. And we have some big interview things. And obviously with Mickey agreeing to do what he do, we're having 2023 is going to be like our glow up year. I'm super fortunate to have been part of the building out process of this. Mike has been super supportive in me wanting to spin off and kind of build out my brand and still be attached to the According to Hip Hop brand. So thank you for letting me build out this platform with you and also use this platform to kind of spin off. We're keeping it live and keeping it family. My goal is that my family that I'm kind of bringing to the table is going to tie back into the According to Hip Hop family. We're just going to continue to grow and to expand. For the people that we've been talking to behind the scenes, it's like I'm still walking in Def Jam's building every day. It's just like I'm trying to build Murder, Inc. and Rockefeller at the same time. And we're going to have fun. You can expect us to be in your media news cycle pretty much damn near every day next year coming soon. We are taking over. So just follow Coop is Problematic on YouTube. And we're going to be using my channel as a sub-channel to funnel all things back into According to Hip Hop. Shout out to Andrew Mirror Music. Mike, we're going to do a station head soon for the year-end wrap-up.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull up and do a station head tonight. And we're just happy to be influencing the culture and impacting the culture. And thank y'all for your love and for your support.
Definitely, it's a blessing, and I'm looking forward to listening to this episode Friday. We're gonna do that
Yes.
Patreon Friday at like 1:30 p.m.
Yeah, Friday at
and whatnot.
1:30. Infamous Reasonable Doubt Patreon.
Yeah,
That's
that
what I
should be
mean.
great.
Is like we're still growing. Y'all need to subscribe to our Patreon page. Yearbook. Me and Mike are about to be in the city next year, heavy at events. You know, Coop
Yep.
is problematic. Idea obviously came from this show. You know, so it ties right back in.
Right.
I figured it would just make sense to make my channel. My channel's not about me, but it's called Coop is Problematic because I think it's the way that people know me the most that are on this channel. But we're going to be doing a few things, and Mike's going to be funneling some of the stuff back to According to Hip Hop. Shout out to Denham, who wrote a wonderful article for the According to Hip Hop website. We're going to be giving her stuff some more highlights as the next year starts, and you know we're happy to be here. I feel like if we're not in first place, we about to be. So
yeah, man, we're gonna have some fun with some hip hop, man. Everybody wins.
Yep.
All right.